Good morning, everybody. Stephen D. Let's get right to it. The TPP. We all know that President Obama is making a big push to pass the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a thoroughly despicable agreement, one that tramples upon our sovereign rights as a nation, one that that is deliberately being withheld from the public. In fact, we wouldn't know about a lot of provisions unless it had already been leaked. So we know that that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to seek passage of the TPP, most likely in the lame duck Congress, after the general election's over, before Hillary Clinton gets in office. There's obviously some big advantages to this for Hillary. Hillary's come out and said that, she opposes the TPP. So what better advantage for her than to have it already in effect, having, the Senate already ratified the treaty before she gets into office. And then she can just throw up her hands and say, oh, well, what can I do now? Sorry, guys, I opposed it, but President Clinton didn't listen to me. I wonder why. Except, and there's always an exception, Hillary Clinton does have the power to eliminate the TPP, even if it's passed by the lame duck Congress. There's a provision in the TPP, and I'll have a link provided for you underneath this video, and it's Article 30.6. It's called simply Withdrawal. I'll read it to you, it's pretty short. 1. Any party may withdraw from this agreement by providing written notice of withdrawal to the depositary. That's, some person they set, some group they set up to, administer the agreement. A withdrawing party shall simultaneously notify the other parties of its withdrawal through the overall contact points designated under Article 27.5. So you got to give notice to everybody else who's a party. Okay, that's not terribly complicated. Withdrawal shall take effect 6 months after a party provides written notice to the depositary under paragraph 1, unless the parties agree on a different period. Okay? Pretty simple, right? Well, wait a minute. You're asking a question. Okay, well, but the Senate ratifies those treaties, right? Don't that mean they'd have to actually get involved and do something about it? Well, the funny thing is, Hillary Clinton's already on the record as saying they don't. See, back in 2008, there were a lot of discussions in the debates between Obama and Clinton about NAFTA and about making it better, renegotiating it. There was obviously one of the attacks that Obama was making at the time was that NAFTA hadn't lived up to its promises. So there was this debate in Cleveland, and Tim Russert was the debate moderator, and this is what I'm going to read to you, the transcript, directly from the transcript, what she said about NAFTA, which, by the way, has a provision that's almost identical in terms of opting out. You can opt out of NAFTA also by giving notice to the other parties in 6 months and all that. So let's start with Russert's question. I want to ask you both about NAFTA because the record, I think, is clear. Senator Clinton. Senator Obama said that you did say in 2004 that on balance NAFTA has been good for New York and America. You did say that. You said in '96 it was proving its worth as free and fair trade. You said that in 2000 it was a good idea that took political courage. So your record is pretty clear. Based on that, and which you're now expressing your discomfort with it in the debate that Al Gore had with Ross Perot, and this was Russert referring to the debates that Gore had with Perot back prior to the passage by the Senate of NAFTA. Al Gore said the following: "If you don't like NAFTA and what it's done, we can get out of it in 6 months. The President can say to Canada and Mexico, we are out. This has not been a good agreement." Will U.S. President say we are out of NAFTA in 6 months? All right, now we go to Clinton's response. "I have said I will renegotiate NAFTA. So obviously, you'd have to say to Canada and Mexico, that's exactly what we're going to do." And Russia goes, "Just because maybe..." "Yes," says Senator Clinton, "I'm serious." Okay, back to Russia. Russia says, "You will get out. You will notify Mexico and Canada. NAFTA is gone in 6 months." She says, "No, I will say we will opt out of NAFTA unless we renegotiate it, and we'll renegotiate on terms that are favorable to all of America." Okay, so then she goes on. "But let's talk about what we're going to do. It's not enough just to criticize NAFTA, which I've done, and for some years now. I put forward a very specific plan about what I would do, and it does include telling Canada and Mexico that we will opt out unless we renegotiate the core labor and environmental standards." And then she goes on, blah, 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 blah. And Russia says, "But let me button this up. Absent the change that you're suggesting, you are willing to opt out of NAFTA in 6 months. This is Clinton's answer at the time. Remember, this is 2008. Discussing the NAFTA treaty, which has almost identical opt-out agreement as the TPP does. "I'm confident that as president, when I say we will opt out unless we renegotiate, we'll be able to renegotiate." So she didn't exactly say she would opt out, but she said she had the power to opt out. So it's pretty clear to me that, you know, you have a candidate who came out and said NAFTA's no good. Now she's saying TPP is no good. It's, you know, no longer the gold standard of trade agreements. So what if President Obama is successful in getting a lame duck Congress to pass the TPP? And we know that there are members of the Republican Party and members of the Democrats who likely would be willing to, you know, senators who would be willing to ratify it. And I know there are a number of groups, including Flush the TPP and others, that are working very hard to stop any lame duck Congress from acting to pass the TPP. But you know, let's assume for the moment that those groups fail and that Obama is successful in cementing his legacy by getting the TPP passed in the lame duck Congress before Clinton takes office. Well, I think it's pretty clear what we need to do now. We need to say to Hillary Clinton, take the pledge. You said you were opposed to the TPP. So say now, agree and promise to us that you will opt out of the TPP if it's passed by Obama and the Senate in the lame duck Congress session. Pretty simple. Just say, I pledge myself that I will opt out of the TPP if it's passed in the lame duck Congress. I think every one of us should be demanding she make that pledge. We should also, you know, be showing up at her campaign events, the ones that are open to the public, and chanting that precise thing. You know, demanding that she opt out of the TPP if it's passed. Because after all, she said she's opposed to it. Sure, it's not in the Democratic Party platform, but, you know, we need to put some pressure on Clinton. Right now, all the pressure and all the discussion has been about Obama. and trying to find a way to stop the TPP getting passed in the lame duck Congress. But really, whether it's passed in the lame duck Congress or not, there's a good chance it would be, she'd put it forward in this, the Senate, maybe with some minor changes. So we need to ask and demand that right now she go on the record saying she is opposed to the TPP, which she has said she is, and that if passed, she will use Article 30.6 of the TPP to give 6 months notice that the United States is opting out of the agreement. Pretty plain and simple, right? You don't like the TPP, Hillary. You told us that. You said it's not the best. You said you have a lot of doubts about what it will do. So take the pledge. Tell everybody, yes, I will opt out of the TPP. I will terminate the United States being a party to this agreement, because the agreement says she can do that. Doesn't require the Senate to do anything. She's not ratifying a treaty. The agreement itself says we can opt out. She's the executive. And she's said in the past that, with respect to NAFTA, that she would opt out of the NAFTA agreement if she couldn't renegotiate it. So, time to put the pressure on. Time to tell her, opt out of the TPP. Tell us now that's what you're going to do. Tell us now, Hillary. Don't just say, well, I don't like the TP anymore, and okay, I don't have to talk about it anymore because Bernie Sanders is gone. No. Come out now and tell us this. And I would suggest to Mr. Sanders, Senator Sanders, and to the Our Revolution group, and to all the groups that are working to block the TPP, that they immediately make this a focal point of their attacks upon it. And that one of the things they do, among the others, among contacting senators and protesting President Obama's efforts to, strong arm people into voting for it once the general election is over, that one of the things they focus on is demanding that Hillary publicly go on record and telling us that regardless of whether it passes in the lame duck Congress or not, if it does pass, she will opt out of it. She can. She can, folks. So, take action, guys. No TPP, Hillary. Opt out of the TPP, Hillary. Take the pledge, Hillary. Whatever slogan you want to come up with, and start pushing that meme, because Clinton can get rid of the TPP on her own if she's elected president, even if it's passed in the lame duck Congress. So that's me for the rest of the week. Hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the I hope not too blisteringly hot weather where you are. And take care. Stephen D. signing off.